Hey folks, welcome back to another video making this Battleships game and using Pygame and Python. In the last video we created the tokens and some animated fire and animated explosions, as you can see on the screen. Just for reference sake, the animated fire is there, the blue tokens for misses. On the computer's grid we've got the green tokens for misses and the red tokens for hits. We're quite happy with all those, everything seems to be working perfectly. What we're going to focus on this video is we're going to load in some of the images, the background image. We're going to load in the game radar screen and the player screen, and as well as the computer screen. We're also going to hide the computer ships, which is very simple to do. It's straightforward, but we shouldn't be able to see the computer ships anymore. Then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to change the names of these buttons. Once you've hit the deploy button, these buttons' functionality should change. So the randomize button, we're going to change it. I think it will change to quit, if I have it correct. The reset button will be changed to scan, as in radar scanner, and we'll add the functionality for that, which is loading in another animation. That'll take quite a bit of this video, but we'll get to that. And then the third part that we will change is the deploy button should change to redeploy, if you needed to restart the game. Alright, so let's get started with that. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go to my button class. Over here, here's my buttons. You see my action on press, my focus on button, all these things. Under my button attributes, I just want to go through there and make sure all the attributes are as they should be. What we're going to be focusing on a lot is our self.active is also going to come into play a role in this video, and how that gets touched on, but we'll get there shortly. Alright, so once we've hit the deploy button, our buttons should change. That is something we need to focus on now. So I'm going to come down to the bottom of our buttons method class, but before the draw method. And I'm just going to define a method here called update buttons. Alright, that's just going to take a self argument as well as the game status argument. Alright, I'm going to update the buttons on the game stage. Alright, as per, update the buttons as per the game stage. Right, if self.name is equal to deploy and game status is equal to true, we want to then switch the self.name as then be changed to redeploy. Self.name was changed to redeploy, and then for the self.message it's also changed to self.add text, self.name, self.message rect equal to self.message.get rect, and that'll be center to self.rect.center. Right, this is going to be straightforward. It's going to be a little bit of duplication, but please bear with me. We're going to do this all together. So if the self.name is deploy and the game state is equal to true, I actually think we don't need to redo that all the time. We just want to do that once. So I don't think it will be necessary for that. Alright, get down. Okay, there. Self.name deploy. If self.name is equal to redeploy. Now this will be just back, and game status will be equal to false, of course. Self.name will then be equal to deploy. Okay. Then the next one will have that. We will then need to call this 2 lines of code. We need to run through those 2 lines of code. Right. Then we'll have if self dot name is equal to reset and game status is equal to true. Self dot name will then change to radar scan. Right. If self dot name is equal to radar scan and game status is equal to false, self dot name will then be equal to reset. I'm just going to copy this little 2 lines of code here. I actually think we don't need that. I can cut it rather. I can paste it there. I'll tell you why. Even though we have the update buttons and it's running through all of these things, each individual button is only one name. So it's not going to perform this function on all these things. Each individual button is only one name. Okay, just bear that in mind. And then we can say, well, if self.name is actually equal to randomize and self and name status is equal to true, self.name then be changed to quit. If self.name is equal to quit and game status is equal to false, then self.name will become equal to randomize. Straightforward. I need to work on too hard there. We need to call this method. We're going to call it within our draw method. So every time we do an update, it will then call this method. Self.update buttons. And then the game status, what we're going to pass to the game status is actually our deployment variable. Remember we created our deployment variable at the bottom here, which told us where is deployment variable. Where was the deployment variable? Deployment there. Is equal to true. Alright. Over here, if button.name is equal to deploy, the status of the game will then be changed. Deployment phase, deployment equals, will then be equal to status. So that deployment phase. The next thing we want to do is actually say, well, elif button.name is equal to redeploy. The status will be equal to deployment phase, deployment, and then deployment equal status. Have I unnecessarily created a function there? Where's my deployment phase function? Deployment phase. If deployment is equal to true, return false, also return true. It's an unnecessary function if you really think about it. Alright, well anyway, let's just quickly, so what we expect to happen is when we run the game and we've deployed our units and we hit the deploy button, you see there's a problem. It shouldn't say quit already. It shouldn't say radar scan already, it shouldn't say redeploy already. That's a bit of an issue. I have this sneaky suspicion that should be swapped around. Should be false. And this one should be true. false, true, false, true, for run it now. So we have randomize, sure, there's a randomize function, deploy, okay, that's correct, that's what we want. And if I hit the redeploy, okay, that's what I wanted, yes, yes, yes. I should be able to move my ships about now, again, yes, okay, but obviously we wanted it to reset. But if I had to deploy, obviously the quit and the radar scan don't do anything. With my redeploy, I can't move any ships around. If I redeploy, I can move stuff around. I can just hit the reset, I can randomize again. Fantastic. Okay, so the button switching, name switching is correct. So let me go back to my update buttons is now correct. So I had it wrong. I had this the wrong way around. That should be false and that should be true. So my update buttons is correct. We can leave that as is. We can go and create the functionality of those two buttons. If self.quit, if that quit button is hit. So let's start with the quit button. Action on press. Deploy. L if self.name is equal to quit. Then we're just going to call a function. Over here, we're just going to say pass, because it's not going to call any methods within this function here. We're going to call it here. Elif button.name is equal to quit. Run game variable must then equal to false. Okay, that's simple, straightforward. That will break us out of the game loop, and the game should then end. Will then end. The next thing we want to hit is I don't want to do the scanner just yet. I want to do the redeploy button. If we hit the redeploy button. Okay, we already handled a small part of the redeploy button here, but this. In our actual buttons methods class, we're going to create a method. Action on press. Elif self.name is equal to redeploy. Right. If we call a redeploy button, we're then going to call the self.restart the game method. And a restart the game method needs to be created. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit here, just above my draw method, above my update buttons method. Create a method here called diff restart the game. Restart the game method. And in my restart the game method, right. The first thing we need to do is we need to clear all the tokens. So in my tokens list, I'm going to clear all. My player fleet, self.reset ships, player fleet, self.randomize ship positions, and the ship list will be computer fleet and computer game grid. Right, the next thing we need to do is we need, yeah, that's basically what we need to do there. We then need to call the update game logic, and that'll be for computer game grid, computer fleet, computer game logic. We'll have to update game logic. player, game, grid, player, fleet, player, game, logic. Right. And that's if we self.restart the game. At the bottom here, that should be correct. That should all be correct if I run it now. Let's quickly first just randomize. Let's deploy. Let's hit the quit button. See what happens. And we exit the game. That's fantastic. Second thing we need to check is we randomize our positions, then we deploy. And I'm going to make a couple of calls and hits and things like that, because we now want to check that it's going to properly reset everything. If we hit the redeploy button, but it didn't randomize the ship positions. Nothing got randomized. I think that is because I think it's to do with this. If I put this afterwards, if I put it back. Randomize my ship position. Let's deploy. Let's make a hit. Then let's hit the redeploy button. And randomize position. Reset. Randomize. Let's deploy. Hits where we can, whatever we need to. Let's redeploy. Everything's working as we hope it would. Deploy, and let's quit. Everything is running correctly. What we went and we did is we took this button.action on press, we moved it from line 690 down to line 699. The reason for that is we couldn't randomize the ship locations, as they were still locked while the deployment was still still set to the true variable. It would only be changed here. Okay, so now we've created those buttons. Oh, the last button we need to create is the radar scanner button and its functions. So this is going to be a bit of a long section. I need you to bear with me while we go through it. Let me just check where we are in my game. So we've got the restart the game, radar scanner. We need to create a number of variables and a number of image lists. Okay, so let's get started. Let's go down to our game settings and variables. Game settings and variables. The deployment. We're going to create a variable. We're going to call it scanner, which is going to be equal to false. We're also going to create an index number, which will be equal to 0. And the last one we'll create is a blip position, which will be equal to 1 for now. Alright. Once we've done that, we need to load in our scanning image. Load in our scanner, our radar scanner. So this is a fairly large portion. There's 360 images that we want to load in at one shot, which is our radar base. So down at our loading game sounds and images, let me just express that. Loading game sounds and images. Underneath my tokens, I'm going to create a variable called radar grid images. And that is going to be a function. It's called load animation images. The path will be assets images radar base, and then the individual file name will be radar _anim, and that'll be it. animation number, there is 360, if I have it correct. That's correct. Number will be 360. And the last one we have animation images. It will be rows times our cell size, columns times our cell size. Okay, that's how big it will be. So basically, it will be 10 rows times 50. It will be 500 pixels by 500 pixels. That's how big it should be. Right. The next list that we want to create is radar blip images. We load animation images, and the path will be, let's just go back to the top here, radar blip. So the path will be assets, images, radar blip / blip underscore. And that'll be it. There is a total of 11 of those images. And how big do we want it? 50 pixels by 50 pixels. Right. Then we want to load in our actual radar grid, which will be on top of the radar scanner when the radar scanner image runs. That'll be load image. Path will be assets, images, grids, grid faint .png. Right, and then we will scale it. It will be rows plus 1 multiplied by our cell size, and then our columns plus 1 multiplied by our cell size. Right. Once we've done those ones, we're going to go back up to top. Oh no, wait, before we go up there, let's go down to our buttons. Button.name is equal to what do we call it? Radar scan. There's my buttons. 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 We have radar scan. So in our main game loop, if button.name is equal to radar scan, right? For now, we want to say then scanner will be equal to true. Scanner will be equal to true. Scanner will be equal to true. IND num equal to 0. And our blip position will then be a function that creates our blip position. So now we need to create a function that will locate our blip position, the position of the blip on the radar, which will be randomized applications. Okay, we're going to create a little function. It's going to call it we are deployment phase, take turns, randomize ship positions. Here below the deployment phase, we call it pick random ship location, and we will pass it a fleet ship list, and we'll pass it a, we don't need to pass it a ship list, we need to pass it a game logic board. Okay, so valid choice is equal to false, while not valid choice. Okay, so while not valid choice, we can say position x will be equal to random dot while not valid choice. Pos x will be equal to random dot int 0, 9. Pos y will be equal to random dot rand int 0 and 9. Okay. If game logic pos x pos y equals O, valid choice will be set to true. Once valid choice is set to true, we'll return pos x pos y. Okay, once we've picked our random ship location, we'll return the position on the grid of that ship. So that would be our blip position that we have at the bottom here. So we would then update our blip position with pick random ship location, computer game logic. Okay, so that we then pick a random ship location. Once we pick the random ship location, we've got our blip position. Scanner equals true. Right, that's all correct. And index number is equal to 0 because we're resetting starting from 0. Update game screen. Underneath our update game screen, I'm just going to hear id num. Index number is going to increase by 1 all the time. Is that necessary? No, we're going to say, we're just going to put in a little check here. Here's our update game. If scanner set to true, then we want our index number to increase by 1. That's all we need to do there. It's fantastic. I think the next we're going to do now is we're going to create a little helper function. It's going to move along our animation images. It's just a little helper function. We'll do it underneath the random ship. No, we'll do it load sprite sheet. I'll do that one. Diff increase animation image. And what we're going to pass it is the actual image list that we want to work on and the index number that we want, the new index number that we want. And we're going to return image list index number. Okay. So what we want to do now is, as we go into the bottom now, if we hit the scanner button, if they select the radar scan button, the scanner then becomes true. and index numbers resets to 0. We automatically get the position of the latest, or a random position of one of the ships. Right. In my update game screen function, for the ships and fleet, ships and computer fleet, for button and buttons, computer.draw, the window, the token and tokens, underneath all of that, here, I want to display radar scanner function. I want to create a display radar scanner function. And also that will do it underneath random ship. Diff display radar scanner. We want to do it display to the window, but we have it. And we're going to pass it an image. Image list. We want to pass it index number. So here's my display radar scanner. I just want to be radar scan. It's going to be equal to our display radar scanner. And we want to pass it scanner. If scanner is equal to true, right? If scanner is equal to true. Image will be equal to increase animation image list ind num, right, and we will return the image. Is that right? Is that right? Return the image. Return the image. Radar scanner. We don't need to pass it to window. Display radar scanner. True. Radar scan. If scanner is equal to true, and ind num is less than or equal to 359, right? Return image. Else, return false. Okay, radar scan will be equal to display radar scanner will be equal to false. Okay, if radar, if not radar scan, so if it's equal to false, false, else window dot lit radar scan, radar scan, and computer game grid. Zero. Good. 0 1 1. I'll run this now quickly. We should get display radar scanner, missing 3 arguments, responding from those arguments. Come now. I need to give it the image list. The image list will be radar, create images, ID num, and the last one is the scanner. Okay, let's try it again. It should run now. It takes a while to load, because I'm loading up 360 images. So I'm going to randomize this to the screen. I'm going to hit the deploy button. Now we're going to hit the radar scan button. If I hit some tokens on the screen, the radar scanner should appear beneath the tokens. No, it's still above the tokens. But that's easy to fix. Because I'm drawing it below the tokens. I'm just going to highlight this section here. I'm just going to cut it. And I want to paste it above the tokens. So, alright, so the first thing that's happening is we are getting the radar scan position, scanning. Okay, loading all the images, randomize our ships, we hit the deploy button, we hit the radar scan, and the scanner is running on the screen as we had hoped it would. So that's why the next thing that's not displaying is the radar blip position. So, when I created this, I wanted the radar blip position to only display on the section of the screen that it is once the actual scanning piece meets that section of the screen. So in order to do that, I created a little helper function that was called, I called it display radar blip. So I've got display radar scanner, and then directly below I'm going to create another little function called display radar blip, right? And radar blip is going to take 2 arguments, position, right? Display radar blip. Okay, create a little variable such as called none. If position 0 is less than or equal to 5 and position 1 is greater than or equal to 5. Right? No, both of them is greater than. So if greater than or equal to 5 and position is greater than or equal to 5, and then we're going to say if the num, the index number is greater than or equal to 0, and num is less than or equal to 90. Image equal to increase animation image. Image list will be radar blip images. Just slow it down. Okay. Aleph position 0 is less than 5 and position 1 is still greater than or equal to 5. And if num is greater than 270, and so this is obviously the index number, and num is less than or equal to 360, image will be equal to increase animation image radar blip images num blah 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 4 blah blah 10. Okay. LF position 0, still less than 5, and position 1 is less than 5. 2, so both are less than 5. If num is greater than 180 and num is less than equal to 270. Right. Image is equal to increase animation image, radar blip images, num over 3, 10. Right. LF position 0 is greater than or equal to 5, and position 1 still less than 5. If num is greater than 90 and num is less than or equal to 180. Image equal to increase animation images, radar blip images, num by 2, float 10. Return image. Okay, so what we've done there, this display radar blip is taking an index number with the index number of the scanner, the radar scanner. It's taking that index image as one of its arguments. And you'll see that it takes that radar scanner image and it floors it by 10 as a 10, or 4, 3, 2. Okay, so that's just to make the radar scanner image stay on the screen a bit longer than what it did. Otherwise, there's only 10 frames, you miss it, and you miss your whole point of the radar. So once we've got the display radar blip method or function, we actually then need to call that function. And we call it underneath our radar scanner, so that it appears on top of it. So our blip is going to be equal to radar, display radar blip, int num, and our blip position. Right. If our blip is true, window.lit our blip see game grid, computer game grid. Computer game grid. Blip position 0. Computer game grid. Let's just see. Blip position 0. Blip position position 1. 0. Grid. Blip. Position. 0. Blip. Position. 1. Alright, let's give this a go quickly. Okay. Untitled Chapter. Display radar blip. If scanner. Okay, randomize, deploy. Let's hit the radar scanner. See if we see any. There's a blip. It's working because it's on a ship. Alright, so what we just did, sorry about this, I'll take quickly. In my display radar blip, when I ran it the first time, obviously now we've got our blip variable here. If I was calling this function all the time, always when we call the function, we should only be running this imaged item if the scanner is true. Right, so when we run this game and we hit the deploy button, redeploy, because we randomize our position, reset, randomize. Let's deploy. I'll make a hit, call a hit there. Let's turn on radar scanner. It runs. There's a ship position there, and it seems to be working. Let's redeploy. Let's deploy radar scanner. Let's hit the radar scanner again. Hey, we can keep doing this. This seems to be working quite well. Oh. Line 589. We just ran into an error. 589. Display radar blip. Radar blip images. Oh. See, we've got too many parentheses there. Display radar blip. Battleships deploy. Let's hit the scanner. Okay, we wanted to pick another one. We want the blip to be in the fourth quadrant there. There we go. And it's working the way we want it to work. It's fantastic. Things seem to be working well. Things seem to be going ahead quite well. If we redeploy, fantastic. There's just one thing I noticed that's not here. There's no grid on top of this screen. It should be a display grid. We're not displaying it yet. Radar scanner, display. If not radar scan, window.radar scan. Over there, we're going to do window.blit radar grid, and we'll give it the exact same position. See, give it the same position. It should run now. So if we're on the game and we get started, we're on the scanner, we have a grid, but the grid's not perfectly set. And the reason for that is the position of it is incorrect. Let's go back down to my radar grid. No. We can do it here. Here. Before we go there, my radar blip, my radar grid. It doesn't need to be that big. In my radar grid, I've created an oxide. It should be 10 cells by 10 cells. 10 times 10, 10 times 50, 10 times 50. Randomize deploy, hit the scanner. And there we go, folks. My grid, it seems to be correct. It's showing a grid. Radar scanner. Radar scanner should show me everything. Most of them should be done. Yeah. Oh, it's picked a different one. Fantastic. Right, hit the quit function, quit button there. Alright guys, the only few things I think that are left is adding the background images, the game grid images, some sound files, and I think just adding the computer hard player, as well as the start screen and the end screen, which I think we can complete in the next video. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were able to follow along. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.